Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Shuya Huang, and I am the PLT Canada's internship coordinator. I'll be your speaker for today. Just while we're waiting for everyone, feel free to write in the chat what traditional territory you're calling from. If you don't know, don't worry. There's a map that you can use to check it out. My colleague Brittany is going to put the link in the chat. All right, so today I am calling in from Toronto, Ontario, the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat people. PLT Canada's office and much of our team lives and works in the traditional and ceded territory of the Algonquin Nation. We recognize the Algonquin's time-honored relationships with and stewardship of its lands and waters, and are committed to upholding our shared responsibilities to continue that stewardship to be for present and future generations. I also would like to touch upon the learning outcomes for this webinar. By the end of it, you would gain knowledge on Canada's forest and conservation job markets. You would discover the components of a personal elevator pitch and how to customize it for different networking situations. You also would have 7 tips to prepare before a career fair. PLT Canada is a part of Sustainable Forestry Initiative, and here you can see our vision and the mission statements. Keywords here are sustainability, collaboration, and of course, forests. SFI is also advancing sustainability through forest-focused collaborations through our 4 pillars of work: standards, conservation, community, and PLT Canada delivering under the education pillar. Now, a little bit about PLT Canada. PLT Canada is committed to using the outdoors to engage youth in learning about the world around them, and advancing environmental literacy, stewardship, and career pathways using trees and forests as windows in the world. Since 2018, we've placed over 5,000 youth into green jobs across 12 provinces and territories, and over 900 Indigenous youth from 100 different communities into green jobs. We are able to do this because we have over 200 employers in the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and the Canadian Parks Council network. In addition to job placements, we offer a high-quality mentorship program for youth and the forest and the conservation sector professionals. We provide opportunities for youth to attend networking events and training workshops like this one. And we offer a wide variety of career resources via our website. A little plug here. Next month, on February the 10th, we will host My Green Job Fair 2022, and we welcome you all to participate. All right, so enough of the introduction. Let's go into the green jobs. When people think of green jobs, they tend to think of careers that are directly involved with forests, natural resources, conservation, and climate change. So it is really important that we explain that green jobs can be much broader than that. PLT Canada defines green jobs as any job that supports nature-based solution for a more sustainable planet. Under this definition, green jobs incorporates careers that people don't necessarily think is as green. For example, policy advisor, researcher, community outreach specialist, social media coordinator, even sales or accounting or HR positions are all considered as green jobs. And just a side note, there will be a wide range of green employers in the career fair. Okay, so why green jobs? Simply put, the jobs are there. This graph illustrates on how much growth is projected for available jobs in the green sector. You can see that in 2017, there were approximately 10 million green jobs available worldwide. By 2030, the number is expected to increase 6-fold. This equates to approximately 60 million new jobs across the globe. And here are some stats for positions specifically in the forest sector. The proportion of workers considered to be a part of the green job workforce has been increasing over time. 1 in every 30 workers is in a green job. Individuals in green jobs come from a wide variety of backgrounds and educational programs. And nearly 90% of occupations here in Canada involve some environmental work. All right, so we know a lot about green jobs. So what kind of skills do we need to be able to land a green job? As we see here, we can say there are technical skills and soft skills. The technical skills are the ones you learn from school or your professional training, and the soft skills is more interpersonal skills and the skills that are more human-based. Technical skills may be needed to gain employment, but soft skills are essential and equally important in keeping a job to grow into a career. Here, through analyzing surveys by our employers, we found these to be the top skills employers are seeking. For example, your computer skill, your customer service, your resiliency, your resourcefulness, or are you willing to learn to problem solve, or are you able to have outdoor experience? In green jobs, those are really important for employers to consider. Now we know that we have all those skills. How do we match those to the job postings? Well, break down a job posting so that you can make it easier to align your skills with what the employer is looking for, and also pull from all experiences to help meet the job posting requirements. Everything you do is a building block for you. For example, you may have participated in team sports, part-time jobs, customer service, or simply your hobbies. Those are all valuable building blocks for you to utilize in matching with job postings. And also, don't be discouraged if you don't have direct or very straightforward green job experience before. For example, you may have a part job in Starbucks, and your responsibility there was just managing to see how many customers coming in and out from your store, and what kind of coffee do they choose from, how many coffee do they choose from another kind. Those are not typically green job experience, but you can say that from that job experience, you have gained data and analysis and managing skills. And those keywords are actually what employers are looking for in reading your resume or reading your cover letter. So really grasping the keywords to help with you. And the last point is that you don't have to match 100% to be able to apply for a job. Most job posting requirements are actually a wish list for employers. So don't be discouraged if you don't match 100%, apply anyways. All right, so we have a short video to show you what about elevator pitch. So let's get started.
The elevator pitch is your first step towards becoming a networking god. Hey, Mr. CEO. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you.
Ruben, right?
Yes.
Oh, I've heard a lot of good things about you.
Nice.
So,
nice.
What is it that you do then exactly?
Well, you know, I like merge all my talents together and just give it out to the world, like all my stuff inside me. It's like a mixture of stuff. Like, I'm a creative guy, people's person, obviously. I write a bit of comedy, I present, I get up stage, talk to people, and I just know together all my creative ideas and my whole team. That's not an elevator pitch. That's the ramblings of an unprepared An elevator pitch is a sentence that sums up what you do so concisely that you can tell it in a space of the average elevator ride. If you were to write it down, it'd be about 140 characters, which is about a tweet. So, let's try that again, shall we? Hey, Mr. CEO, good to see you, sir. Good to see you.
Hi, Ruben, right?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, I've heard a lot of good things about you.
Okay, nice.
So, what is it you do then, actually?
I'm a presenter and a comic. I host live events and I make online comedy videos. And I'm also co-founder of individualism.co.uk, which is the UK's leading men's style blog.
Oh, excellent. We've got a few events coming up and we could do with your services. Have you got a card, haven't you?
I do. Yes, I do. There you go.
I'll be in touch.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day, mate. See? Preparation, it got me some potential work with the CEO of this whole company. Yeah.
Did you think a men's styling blog?
Remember guys, your elevator pitch should be short and to the point, even if you do live on the 100th floor. You need to know exactly what you do, as you do not want to give people the wrong idea.
All right. Feel free to share in the chat what you have learned or what you observed from this short video and how you think would apply for your own elevator pitch practice. And another thing I want to share with you is that from the guy here, always have professional contact information on hand to exchange, because sometimes people are super interested in you. The next natural step is to ask for information to contact you. So always be prepared for that information. All right, so what is an elevator pitch? Now we talked about it. We've seen a video about it. An elevator pitch is actually a short, persuasive introduction you use to introduce yourself or a project. It should be super short, less than 30 seconds. And its purpose is just to introduce yourself quickly and clearly to spark interest in who you are and what you do. The key words here is quickly and clearly. There are 5 case scenarios that I listed up here as you could use an elevator pitch for. For example, the career fairs or networking events, a job interview. You can use it to invite people to your network or your program. You can pitch for funding opportunities, or you can just casually introduce yourself to your new friends. But another thing I want to stress a little more is always customize your elevator pitch according to your personal experience, according to the case scenario, according to the people that you are talking to. Customization is the key. If you have something to offer, always mention your multicultural, multilingual advantage and work eligibility in Canada upfront. If you have received education or work experience overseas or outside of your current living location, always mention the equivalent for people to understand more easily. Mention your top skills, but do not limit yourself to only direct or Canadian experience. For example, you may have experience internationally, you may have experience outside of the province or territory. Always just utilize your skill set instead of the directness of the experience to convey the information. Just like the Starbucks example I made earlier today. Also, pivot your pitch to your responsibility, capability, and achievements, and demonstrate your resiliency and showcase your positive attitude and ability to provide solutions and overcome challenges. Interpersonal skills are also super important in conveying your elevator pitch to another person, because you're not just reading or reciting a piece of paragraph. It's more about talking to people, letting people know, or letting people be interested in you as a person. For example, I landed in Canada in 2020 and I didn't have a job back then. So what I was doing was, the first thing I was doing was to write my elevator pitch. So what did I use in my elevator pitch? I added my language efficiency. I added my education level. I added my previous work experience, and I add my 1 or 2 achievement that I've done in order to showcase my top skills to land a job that is more fitable for me in Canada here. So just try to customize it according to your personal experience or according to the case scenario or the situation you are in, just to be make it more interesting for people to wanting to know more about you. Now we know that we need customization. What else to include? Well, you can include your name, your community or your city, where you work, where you study, and your skills. And why are you the perfect candidate? What makes you unique or valuable to this particular organization or your employer? Emphasize your strength and accomplishments. And also say, what do you want? What is your objective in this elevator pitch or this conversation, or what is your call of action? And a good trick to use is the PARS formula, which stands for problem, action, and results. And this formula will make up the bulk of the elevator pitch. And just to plug it again, career fair is also a good opportunity to use your elevator pitch. Now we have a template for you. This template is a great gateway for us to understand what is elevator pitch and what parts can be divided into to be able to compose your own elevator pitch. First is to introduce yourself, or that I say is a professional persona. The second, third, and the fourth part is the part formula. They are really closely linked to each other, which is to present the problem, present your action, and share your results from that action. The last part is add a call to action or what you can offer in this situation. That it'll leave a action item for both parties to work on in the future. This template is also going to share with you with the worksheets that I shared earlier in this a day before today. I also will share it after this workshop. We will also use the worksheet for our practice. All right, so we have two examples here. And I would like to just to talk through the examples so that you know what is the 5 parts and how to write your 5 parts. The first one is my example. So my name is Shuya Huang, and my role here at Project Learning Tree Canada is to coordinate the internship funding program. So this is my professional persona, and it is really closely and directly linked to what I want to achieve, or just to set a profile to the person that I'm talking to. Now I identify the problem, knowing that more and more young Canadians want to enter the green sector. And to cope with the problem or solve the problem, I have my actions here. My work engages the diverse Canadian youth like myself and supports their green career pathways. And you may wonder, what is the result coming after that action? Okay, here you go. In doing so, I help them form strong partnerships with forest and conservation sector employers. And since this elevator pitch is more of a networking situation and I want to just engage and connect with people, so my offer is customized accordingly. I would like to connect with more diverse Canadian youth and help them explore new green career pathways, opportunities, and lead them to more purposeful and confident in their career choice. So that is how I divided the 5 parts in my elevator pitch and how my thought process in writing it. And we have a second example. This example is more for a job seeker or someone that's looking for a job that is having limited experience, but they want to showcase that they are capable of doing the job they're looking for. Okay, so I am a recent graduate from York University with the degree of in communications. I have worked as a social media coordinator for a local conservancy authority for the past 2 years. So this is your professional persona. It shows your education level, your work experience, and what you do to set up a profile for the audience to hear. All right, so then identify the problem to increase their social media presence. The action will be I identify the content gap and utilized my proficiency in Photoshop to create graphics. And from that action, we have the result. Eventually, during my time there, their social media followers increased from 40 to 2,000. So that is the direct result that I've gained from my actions here. The last part will be your offer or your call to action. In this case scenario, because it's in a job interview or a job fair, so the call to action here will be, I'm looking for a full-time social media coordinator position, and I believe my experience will be beneficial for your organization. All right, so we are going into the practice period of our workshop here. Let me stop share for a second, and then I'll share our worksheet so that I can work through the worksheet with you. All right. I hope all of you can see the worksheet. So this is the worksheet I sent to you yesterday, and I'll send to you during and after this workshop. As you see here, we have the template here, which is the 5 parts that was shown in the presentation. Also, we have the 2 examples and the goal and some prompt for you to compose your own elevator pitch. Here, there is a more interactive component to it. So here we divided 5 different parts so that you can just write down what you want to write, and then you can just, I guess, do a little bit of adding and deleting, and then that will be the draft of your elevator pitch. And I think as we have 26 people here, I'm hoping that we have like 5 breakout rooms, and then hopefully your group will use this worksheet to be able to come up with a group elevator pitch. You can be just one person's experience, or you can be just a group, a made up example. So that just a simple practice for everyone to have a little bit practice time. All right, hopefully, awesome, great. So hopefully everyone will have a great time in this practice. All right, seems like everyone is back here. Are there any groups that want to share their elevator pitch coming up together? You don't have to say it. You can just share it in the chat, and we'll have a look at it together.
So Shuya, I can go.
Oh, that's awesome, Mirna.
So in our breakout room, we had almost 3 participants. So one participant was looking for a job. She just finished her master's in green jobs, and we had somebody come from India. He's a faculty member, and he was trying to see what opportunities he can get out of this elevator pitch. So Amina, who is one of our breakout room members, she kind of touched quickly on her experience, on where she is right now, what she would like to get. She practiced an elevator pitch. I did my elevator pitch as well, and I tried to kind of give an example of what we do right now at PLT Canada. Brittany joined us towards the end. She also can give us a quick overview of her role at PLT Canada. So that's pretty much for us here.
Ah, that's awesome. Is there any other group that want to share? Just to share a little bit the thought process as well. Or not looking for the complete product here. I know it's hard to come up with a complete elevator pitch in 15 minutes. Okay, let me share my screen and we can move on to the second part of the workshop. As I mentioned before, actually we have a career fair next month. So we want to present some tips for you to have before coming to that career fair, you will be prepared. So we also have a few other resources in PLT Canada website, our Essential Skills Workshop. And I think my colleague Brittany is gonna drop the link in the chat. But yeah, feel free to just go through the resources before the career fair to make yourself as prepared as possible. My first tip here is to know what you want and to do your research. This is really important in helping you target the jobs that you really want. This means not just the kind of job that you want, but what type. Are you looking for a full-time job? Are you looking for a part-time job? Or are you looking for a freelance, remote, or on-site job, etc.? You also need to think about what type of company do you want to work for? A nonprofit, an agency, a firm in a specific industry, or a small company, or a large corporation? Do you need a traditional 9-to-5 schedule, or do you want alternative hours where you work late or overnight? Do you want to be based in the office, or is your passion just working out in the field? Those are all important criteria to think about before going into a job search to scope your career options. I also want to focus on one specific social media platform, which is LinkedIn. We have PLT Canada's webinars have been stressing LinkedIn for quite some time now. And in my opinion, I feel like LinkedIn is the single most important tool for us to network and find jobs. So I really want to stress again the importance of LinkedIn. LinkedIn profile can help you build a strong online reputation. And the more complete and more accurate your LinkedIn profile, the more chances you will have to be found and contacted for a job. I know that someone that's in our team right now who was approached by a recruiter via LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is actually super important. You can use it to build your online resume. You can build your network. You can show to Google if you are Googled. You can search for job. You can have employer reach out to you. You can ask for recommendations and endorsement from others. You can also research companies that interest you. You can also share your posts or articles that reflect your own values. So it is really important tool to be have, especially in the modern job seeking, job hunting time that we have. The third one is to customize your application. Create a core resume and cover letter, and always tailor for each application. And also you can store these in organized folder and use clear naming conventions so you don't mix anything up. This will make it so much easier for you if you need to refer back to different versions in the future. And PLT Canada has some resources for you on building up your resume and the cover letter. We also have some articles for you to be aware of the robots and how to not to fall into the trap into the robots. We also have on the right of the screen, we also have a template, and you can use this template to actually build your resume. And let's move on to the elevator pitch. it is really important to practice the elevator pitch so you feel prepared coming into any situation to be able to clearly express yourself to the person that you're talking to. Also, be aware that interpersonal skills is really important in conveying your elevator pitch, especially on eye contact and handshake. And I guess just the attitude towards talking to this person and able to let this person be interested in what you do and who you are. Record and practice your pitch and check if you are repeating any words, make sure the sentences make sense, and make sure that you stay within the 30 seconds without talking too fast. You should also ask for feedback. Do you sound natural? Is your elevator pitch conversational and free-flowing? And be sure to prepare a few commonly used answers to follow up behavioral or technical questions, because it's natural that the next step for people to be interested in you to ask, what do you do? Where did you study? And just list your top skills to be able to match up an opportunity that this person may have. The tip number 5 is to research employers and positions. Do a little internet sleuthing beforehand. Use your scope of the positions you are interested in and find the employers and positions, and strategically apply your networking tactics. Also, LinkedIn is very useful in this sense. You can connect everyone and research anyone, use their LinkedIn page, and also you can read their publication page to be able to be a little bit prepared talking to this person. Here is the list of the employers that will attend the career fair next month. You can see here, and this is a free resource for you to do a little bit internet sleuthing. If you are interested in applying any of the positions to any of the employers here, be sure to check their website, to check their LinkedIn page, to check their, job postings, and then have something to be prepared before coming into the career fair. The next one is networking, and it is really, really important. The goal for networking is to access the hidden job market. But don't feel disappointed or frustrated if you don't get a job up front, because networks is not for building relationships for gain, but rather to build your network for influence and connections to be able to provide guidance, insights, and perspective as you build your career pathways. You should take some time to build your meaningful relationships with those in your professional circle. Don't be like, you can chit chat, you can just share some personal anecdotes with them, be able to have a more consistent interpersonal relationship with them, and that's one way that to build your network. If you want to, for example, tap into the referral, or if you want to pivot your career into a different direction, you can also utilize your network to be able to give you some guidance, give you some valuable information, some insights. Is really useful in any case scenario. And the last tip is to follow up with the people you met. We have also mentioned LinkedIn here. You can send an invitation on LinkedIn or follow up with a thank you email. What you can say is to thank them, thank their time, thank their work, or the helpful advice they shared. You can also share an interesting article that relates to the conversation you had. This could be a blog that you personally have written. It could be some post that you think it aligns with your personal values. Just anything that would show your personality and let the person know a bit more about you. Also, let them know that you are interested in their work and would like to meet them for a coffee, a Zoom call, just to discuss their day-to-day activities. and also pitch that you are looking for work and ask if they would have any tips or advice for job seekers that in that specific field. So that's the end of our 7 tips. Once again, our career fair is in February. I hope you have enjoyed my presentation, and I really hope that you are interested in becoming a part of our network. All right, this is my contact information. Feel free to send me an email. I hope everyone can have some information from this workshop, and feel free to drop me an email if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to reply back to you. All right, thank you guys. Have a good day.
If you would like a work experience in the forest and conservation sector, or would like to learn about our mentorship program and career resources, visit pltcanada.org.